Hi there, join me for this video when I'm at Slimbridge Wetlands Centre. So I know today that I'm going to see lots and lots of birds because I've just spent a little bit of time in this hide here behind me, and I've seen Buick swans and shelducks and lots of other different types of birds. I'm at Slimbridge today, which was set up in 1946 by Sir Peter Scott, who then went on to found the Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust. So all of the Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust centres in the UK owe their existence to Slimbridge. And so today I'm going to get out on the reserve. I'm sure I'm going to see lots to photograph, and I know that I'm really going to enjoy my photography. Now, if this is your first time visiting the channel, what you can do to make sure that you don't miss out on any future content that I release is make sure you click the like, subscribe and the bell notifications just down here, because that will really help me out as well. It's always great when you photograph a species that you've never photographed before. I've been in this hide here and I've just seen a northern pintail. Now, you know what I'm like with my identification. I'm not very good and I may have got it wrong, but I'm pretty confident. I've looked very carefully at the photograph in my guidebook and I've compared it to that. So I'm pretty confident that it was a northern pintail. It's quite a striking bird, so I think I've identified this one correctly. So I took this shot here because I saw a hint of a rainbow in the sky over the hills in the distance. But what I didn't realise was in the foreground on the bank of the river were 3 cranes. But I didn't realise this until I zoomed in on the shot in the computer. And when I've looked at the guidebook, it turns out that the cranes are wild and they've been reintroduced to the area on the Somerset levels, and they've decided to make their home near to Slimbridge. Now, I'd almost written off this hide here because I walked past it and there were some feeders with just common garden birds on it. But talking to another person in one of the other hides, she said that there was a water rail sighting in this hide, and I've been back and I've seen the water rail, and unfortunately I've got better sightings than I've got photographs, but I think I probably have got several photographs that will be reasonable and a little bit of video as well. So I'm going to wait for another 10 or 15 minutes to see if the water rail comes back out again and presents slightly better. But at the moment it's been chased back into hiding by a moorhen that seems to be a little bit territorial. Today, if you talk to any of the birders around Slimbridge, they're very excited about a rare sighting of a white rumped sandpiper, and it's been sighted in this hide here behind me, but apparently it was here half an hour ago and has flown off. One of the volunteers here has shown me a picture of one, and it looks very much like a dunlin. It doesn't really stand out as an unusual bird, but apparently it's from America, so for it to be here is quite strange. But I'm going to try a different hide further along to see if I can see it, but even if I do see it, I'm really not sure that I'll be able to identify it anyway. Now, as well as all of the hides that Slimbridge has to offer for photographers like myself who want to take photographs of birds in their natural environment, it also houses the world's largest collection of captive wildfowl birds with over 100 species, and it ranges from things like flamingos to eider ducks. It's really interesting, and unfortunately today I haven't got time to actually go around and photograph them, because my goal really is to try and capture this white rumped sandpiper. But if you were to come here with a family, there's lots to do. It's very, very interesting, with even the house where Peter Scott started the reserve way back in 1946. One thing that Slimbridge does have to offer is an absolute wealth of hides, and they look over a variety of different habitats. This particular one is looking over the estuary, so it's more tidal and river based, but there are other hides that look over wetland areas, and they tend to be more populated. These ones next to the estuary, the birds seem to be a little bit further away, but even so, there's still a chance of seeing things like marsh harriers and other kinds of birds that habitate in this environment. I could now end the video satisfied. I've seen the white rumped sandpiper. Now, it was really difficult to spot, and if there wasn't experts in the hide that knew what they were looking for, I wouldn't have stood a chance of even picking it out, because there were so many dunlin out on the water that it looked almost the same. It was a bit like playing a game of Where's Wally, but I've definitely got a shot of it, and I've also got a shot of it next to a dunlin as well, so you can see just how similar it was. So I'll show you that now, and some of my favourite shots from the morning. So you can see from the comparison here of these two birds how difficult it would be for me to pick them apart. The bird on the left is the dunlin, and the bird on the right is a white rumped sandpiper, and there's very little to tell them apart, certainly to my untrained eye. The dunlin has slightly different wing tips with some white spots. Now, the sandpiper is slightly darker in colour, its wingtips and its tail are the same length, and it has a shorter bill. But I think I would be forgiven for not being able to tell these apart. I've had a really good time today here at Slimbridge. It's just started to rain, so I've timed that really well. but I've managed to get a great shot of the water rail, and I did see that white rumped sandpiper as well, which I'm really pleased with. There's lots more that I could do here today if I hadn't run out of time. All of these captive birds that are around me, there's so much to see and do, so maybe in the future I'll come back again. If you have enjoyed this video, let me know down below in the comments, or nip over to my Vero account, leave me your comments there, and you can also see lots of my photographs. Now if you like what I do on the channel or want to help support me, you can also visit my Teespring store. There I've got a range of merchandise on offer, so head over there, check out what's on offer, because a purchase really does help me out. And don't forget the super thanks button as well. But you don't have to spend any money at all to support the channel. You can do that simply by clicking like, subscribe and the bell notifications, because it really helps me out and it makes sure that you don't miss out on any future content. Watch out for next week's video, that goes live on Sunday. In the meantime, check out this video just up here, but all that's left now is to say, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.